Hi there. Today we're gonna do a review of a smartwatch. This is the Neutro T37 by Tinwoo. First, let's take a quick look around to see what the watch is like. As you guys can see, the watch is actually very minimalistic. It's very smooth and simple. There you go. It has a very casual design that can be worn basically on any occasion. There you go. Right here, these are 22 millimeter bands, and this is the back of the watch. There you go. This watch actually shares a lot of similarities to other Tinwoo watches, especially the T32, which is a pretty awesome watch. For example, one of those similarities is the waterproof rating, which is IP68, which means that you can actually submerge the watch in 1.5 milliliters of water for 30 minutes and still be perfectly fine. So you can basically take a shower wearing the watch and you'll be perfectly okay. Another similarity is the battery life, which lasts for about 2 weeks on standby and about a week of usage, which is pretty awesome. So you can actually wear the watch every day for about 12 hours for an entire week without having to charge it. The charging time is about 2 hours, which is fairly quick. It's also on par with the T32. That's pretty awesome. The screen quality is very good. It's really nice and bright, especially under sunlight. I actually took it outside when it was super bright, and I can see everything perfectly fine. The watch has an always on display, which is what I'm doing right now so that you guys can see the screen constantly without turning off. You can also turn off the always on display in the settings, but right now I have it on. And you can also control how long the watch stays on if you were to use the raise to wake feature, which is pretty awesome. So if you look at the watch, if you swipe down, let me unlock it first, because if you have the always on display, you have to press the side button to unlock it. This is a feature that's done this way to prevent the watch from being accidentally triggered. So you click it and now you swipe. That is where you can find your notifications or your text messages and stuff. If you swipe up, you can see the battery saver mode, which is the first one on top. Do not disturb, which is on the side. This is find my phone, so you can click and find your phone. The one in the middle right here is actually a flashlight, which is a pretty interesting feature and not a bad one. It's actually pretty awesome, especially if you're in the dark and you don't have a flashlight or your phone with you. And right here is to control the music on your device. So if you're listening to music on your phone, you can actually use the watch to control the music. You can play, pause, skip, play back and forward, and you can control the volume up and down as well. As you guys can see, this current display right here will show you the current weather, how many steps you've taken, today's date, today's time, and on the top right there, it also display the battery life, which is pretty cool. Now, if we scroll to the left, you'll see some of the settings. The first one right there are all the different exercises you can do, which I believe there is about, sorry, I accidentally went to the exercise. So I believe there's about 12 of them that you can do. Right here is for meditation. This one right here on the bottom is actually to measure your heart rate, which is pretty awesome. And this one right here is to measure your blood oxygen level, which is a very nice feature, especially in this COVID era. It's a really good way to keep track of your oxygen levels to make sure that you're healthy. If you scroll one more time to the left, here we have the night mode. Here you have the weather. This one right here. Sorry about that. This one right here is a timer, and the one next to it is a stopwatch right there. Not sure if you guys can see that. If you scroll one more time, here we have the settings. The first one is to control the watch faces. The second one is to control the brightness, which the watch itself actually gets pretty bright, but you guys won't be able to see it right now because I have the power saving mode on. This one right here is for the always on display, which as you can see, you can disable and set up how long the screen stays on when you lift up your arm. Let me make sure I keep the always on display back on. There you go. And this one right here provides information about the firmware on your watch, which is pretty cool. One very awesome feature on the watch is the fact that you can actually customize the notifications so that you can determine yourself exactly what type of notifications you're going to be receiving. Because at the end of the day, when you think about it, if you're constantly getting notifications from every single app you have, that can be quite disturbing, especially if you're working or even if you're working out. So you can actually set priorities so that you can only receive notification from the important apps. And that's a very awesome feature. That's also a feature that can be found on the T32. To connect the device to the phone is actually pretty simple. All you have to do is go onto the Tinwoo Pro app, click it. Once you do, it's going to prompt you to enable Bluetooth, so you click open and then allow. As you guys can see, it's connecting. If for whatever reason you have any issues connecting, you can always click right here and select the watch, and you'll get a message on the bottom that says connected. Now, if you want to keep track of your exercise, right here you can see how many steps you've taken. You can swipe to the left to see to monitor your sleep. One more swipe will take you to your heart rate. That's where you can monitor it. It'll show you the average and the highest. You can swipe one more time and it'll show you your blood oxygen level. As you can see right here, it was measured at 99%, which is a very good thing. So if, let's say you guys want to customize the watch, we'll get into that in a second. To customize your watch is very straightforward, and better yet, it's very fun, especially because this is one of those features that not many smartwatches will provide. This watch will actually allow you to take whatever photo you want and customize it as your own display on the watch. To do that, you click on More, Screensaver Settings. Here you're gonna find all the different watch faces that you can use, which they are plenty, and better yet, they all look very awesome. As you guys can see, those are some of the watch faces you guys can use. If you wanted to use a custom one, all you have to do is right here on top, click where it says custom clock face, select digital or analog. I tend to do digital. Select image, choose photo, and then from your folder select what image you're gonna want to use. So I'm gonna go on wallpapers. Let's do this one right here. It's gonna ask you if you want to crop the photo, which you're gonna have to do. So select whatever method you want to use for cropping it. There's the photo, Spider Ham. As you guys can see, I'm a Spider-Man fan. Save copy, and then upload. It's gonna ask you if you're sure. You click on yes, and as you guys can see right here, it's already uploading onto the watch. Now you're gonna have to give it a couple of seconds for it to work. The process tends to be pretty quickly, but let's just wait a few seconds until it's fully completed. It's already up to 72%, so it's moving pretty nicely. It's already up to 90, so we'll be done pretty soon. And there you have it. As you guys can see, here we have our brand new watch face. Let me adjust the camera so that we can focus on it a little bit closer. And there you have it. There it is. So you guys can see it looks pretty awesome. And you can actually do that with any photo you guys prefer. Like I said, I'm a Spider-Man fan, so I did this one. Now, as far as the app goes, I actually think it's very good. It actually provides a lot of settings for you to modify the unit the way you like it, which is pretty awesome. I actually wish that the previous Tinwoo app for the T32 was as customizable as this one is, but I'm pretty sure that's something that they can do down in the future. As you guys can see, aside from my funny wallpaper on the watch right now, I can honestly say this is a very good unit. It's a unit that works perfectly for both men and women. Anybody can wear it. It's a very slick design. It's very minimalistic. You guys can wear this to work. You guys can wear this when you're out and about exercising. It's a very versatile unit. You know, it's something that you can give to anybody, and I think they'll have a lot of fun with it. As far as I go, I think it's a great watch. I think anybody interested should give this a try, and you will not be disappointed. It is one of those watches that I myself didn't knew what to expect, but upon testing it, I was quite happy with the results. And I can honestly say that if you guys are interested in looking for a smartwatch, you can definitely give this one a try. I don't think you'll be disappointed. The guys over at Tinwoo consistently keep putting out new devices that work very, very well and that keep surprising people by their performance and how economical they are. So if you guys are interested, I'll provide the link on the bottom of the description. And if you have any questions, just let me know and I'll reply as soon as I can. So thank you for watching the video. Take care, and I hope you guys have a good time. See ya. Hey guys, today we're testing out the Tinwoo Neutro T37. Right there. Now, this is a activity tracker. This is a smartwatch, and one of the good things about it is that it looks very casual. So if you guys remember, the Tinwoo T32 looks more like a sport watch, and this one you should be able to wear pretty much anywhere. Not to mention, it's a design that works very well with both men and women. Now, one of the things I've noticed so far is that the watch itself is pretty accurate. This is my second walk, and I've noticed that tracking the distance is pretty precise. The watch has an always on display, but right now I have it off because if you keep it off, the battery lasts a lot longer. One thing you also notice is that the screen is super bright. Even though it's early in the morning, the sun is shining very strong right now, which usually makes it a little bit difficult to look into the display. But as you guys can see, even on the brightest sunlight right now, you can actually see the display pretty clearly. The accuracy of the watch is actually very, very good. I compare this one to the T32 and even to a couple of different smartwatches I own, and I'm pretty happy with the performance. One of the biggest reasons you should get this watch is if you want to keep track of your health, because since the design of the watch is very, very minimalistic, you can actually put it on and wear it pretty much everywhere you go. Because
It has such a slick design. You can wear this to work, to meetings, you know, that sort of thing, and it doesn't stand out a lot. The band itself, I believe, is a 22 millimeter band, which is really nice, and it's replaceable. As you can see, the watch does a very good job showing you all the details that you need as you're doing your walk around. Later on, I'm gonna show you guys a video that displays what the app looks like, because it's actually very intuitive. It has a lot of information on there that you can use to control and manage the unit.